Hello everybody, and welcome to TiltTrek, and welcome to Lafayette, Indiana. We're going to the North End Pub for pinball, pizza, and wings, but also to meet with Tommy Skinner. Tommy Skinner is a player, enthusiast, and a guy who happens to have on location some very, very rare games or some very, very first in the country released games. We're going to get a chance to play a P3 I've never touched before. We're going to get a chance to touch an Aliens. I'm excited. I even hear there's a Primus in there. I just happen to love Primus. So we're getting ready to go inside to North End Pub, and thanks for joining us. Welcome. All right, as we enter into North End Pub, we get a chance to see that they have a very cool lineup. We've got a GoldenEye sitting next to a Congo and a Baywatch. Around the corner here, even in the hallways, we get a chance to play a space station. But look at behind here. This place, the amazing thing about it is how many games that there are under 10 of in the country. And here they are all sitting right here in a row. I have never touched a P3, and I am excited about getting a chance to play a little Weird Al, sitting next to Pinball Brothers Alien. Of course, some of the best of Stern, while still hanging out with a creature. Godzilla and Jurassic Park. Look at that, a cheetah. Where do you see one of these on location, especially with it sitting right next to a Primus and a Prospector? And if we stay late enough, we may even get to see the band that they were set up for last night. Let's go over to the bowling alley side. Here we are in the bowling alley part, in which we get to bump across an X-Men, a Royal Rumble, a Monopoly, a classic Williams Slugfest, and a Shadow. There's more back here too. And in the back, on the bowling alley side, we bump into the classic section. There's a Viking sitting next to a beautiful Flash Gordon, a Quicksilver, which I am counting on the fact that we are playing that later, a Meteor, and of course, a Dolly. Gotta love to be able to access this many classic games in such good shape. Hi, Glenn Hoffman.
Tommy Skinner.
Tommy, thank you for being part of TiltTrek. This is exciting to be out here.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming out, checking out our location here, and anytime I can talk pinball, I'm happy to do it.
I know that, because you actually also, not only do you run an amazing place with a whole lot of amazing machines that I know we're going to get a chance to play and talk about, but you also, for a hobby, talk about pinball also, right?
Yeah, my partner and I, Taylor Reese, have done this flipping podcast for probably 7 or 8 years. Like, we've lost track. We don't record as frequently as we had in the past. I now have a kid. He's got 2 kids, and we both are very busy people. But when we do get the time to sit down and talk pinball, we still love to do it, and we record it and we share it. And there's a few people out there that enjoy listening to us. So,
well, I'm one of those people.
We appreciate it.
I do subscribe. I think it's a fun podcast to listen to. You got a chance to hear about how a player and an owner of machines gets a different perspective, even as we hear about you having a new baby.
Yeah, we just had our son, my wife and I, back in June. It has been an adjustment for sure. He's been down here with me during non-opening hours because Indiana, we can't have children in bars.
Oh, so, that's right.
Yeah, we have to come down when they're not open for business here, and he's done some maintenance with me. So he has played a couple games. He really likes the lights, but mostly he stays strapped to my chest while I work on a machine, making sure the power is off, so we're safe.
I would love to see, at some point in time, we need to get a picture of that, because I would love to see that's
pinball in your blood.
The first photo we took when we got home from the hospital was we instantly put him on. I have a Fathom original 1991 fully restored. We threw him on the playfield glass, and that's his first baby picture. And that was the first game we played with him strapped to my chest. That game is near and dear to my heart, and obviously my son is as well.
Well, yes. So when we hear about him, when he's the next Escher, it'll be one of those things where we'll be like going, well, did he start this young?
He started very young. Yeah, he was less than a week old when we played that game.
So you were just saying that in Indiana here, this place we've taken a tour, and so we know there's the North End Pub part.
Yeah.
But then there's also the bowling alley side where you have machines, but there's age restrictions. Can you talk us through that a little bit?
Right now we're sitting inside of North End Pub.
Okay.
This is what we consider like our main pinball area. We've got about 15 machines in here, but in Indiana, minors are not allowed into bars. So fortunately, just to my left, which you'll see in your video tour, there is a door that connects us to Market Square Lanes, which is the bowling alley. So it's one giant building separated by a wall and a door. And then obviously in the bowling alley, it's all ages, and we always try to keep at least 10 machines over in that area. So if people are visiting from out of town with their kids and they don't know about the laws, which happens because laws differ from state to state, there's still an area where they can hang out and play some pinball. And we want to spread pinball too. I'm very big on, one of the reasons I enjoy sharing my games on location is pinball is for everyone. And if kids are getting a chance to play, I think that's very helpful in ensuring the future of pinball staying popular. We specifically keep a lot of our classics on that side, and we run them at only 25 cents a game, because I want like every kid to be able to come in with a quarter and at least be able to play a game of pinball. So we've got some really nice restored classic machines that you won't see very many places anywhere in the country, and we've got them set at 25 cents a play for that reason.
That is a great way of doing that. So then do you also run tournaments and leagues? Do you do stuff with the kids? I mean, is it all ages at that point in time? And how does that work when half of your place is 21 and older?
For the most part, our league is adults. We have had some minors who have played, and then when they play, we just have their group play on machines that are out in that area. Partially because, it's a business and you want people to come in and play it. Mostly because I want people to try pinball. And we try to put games specifically at our location that you won't see everywhere else. Like, not knocking any location that shares pinball.
Absolutely.
But there's a lot of places that are like, you walk in and you're going to see 10 brand new Sterns, and they're all going to play pretty darn good because Sterns are very reliable, they're very new, it's very nice. My love affair with pinball really struck me with the classics, like the early solid state era, 79 to 82 is like where my heart just loves it. But those games are 40 years old now, and they're harder to maintain, especially on location. But we try to have, 6 or 7 of those here at all times. And again, they're cheaper. People might not be willing to put $1 into a machine, but they might be willing to throw away a quarter, try something, and fall in love with it. So we just try to operate a variety of things. I think that makes our location pretty unique compared to a lot of the bar locations specifically where we see a lot of machines tend to lean towards the newer stuff. We include the newer stuff, but we try to be a little bit of all eras as much as we can.
Well, I noticed that. I mean, just when, I'll be honest with you, even before I came here, it was like going, they have what? They have, what? That's sitting next to, and it was just exciting to see the sheer. So how are you getting these machines on location so early? I mean, it just seems like you're getting them before everybody else.
One, I'm not a businessman, so I don't make a lot of money doing this. I'm not smart about it. Specifically, I think we'll probably spend some time with them today, but we have the P3 from Multimorphic here,
right? Which
is a very innovative system. We can cover whatever we want to on that. But that's a machine that I've been following since their first title, Lexi Lightspeed. I've been in communication with Jerry, the owner of the company, for years, and it finally got to the point where financially it made sense for me to put that machine here. Mm-hmm. It is expensive, but with the options that they now have, with the variety of different interchangeable playfields, it made a lot of sense. And especially when we are running out of space and I've got games that I just don't want to sell from here because I'm attached to them, that machine made sense because now we're using one physical space and we can operate 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, as they keep releasing new playfields and making it interchangeable. So that one is part of that. The other really kind of newer, unique machine we have is Alien from Pinball Brothers. Mm-hmm. The reason we have that is because we were actually one of, I think, maybe the only locations that actually operated an original highway Alien as well.
Okay.
I bought one of the first 3 of those machines that came into the country 5 years ago or so now. We operated it for a very short period of time because it was not reliable, as many people discovered, and I had, again, one of the really early ones, so I was worried it was going to brick. Luckily, with that game, if anyone's followed the Alien pinball drama over the years, the community and our pinball community is awesome, and as a whole really rescued that machine, developing parts that were replacements and stuff. But I had gotten rid of it before any of that happened, so I was worried my machine was just going to break and I was going to have a $10,000 brick.
Right.
So we got some other machines for it, but when Pinball Brothers announced they were bringing that game back, I knew how much I loved the rule set, and as much as I am a operator, I am still a collector, and I love the competitive side of pinball. Rules to machines mean a ton to me. I have gotten rid of games. We just operated Cactus Canyon, the remake, for almost 2 months. Cool game, beautiful quality, not knocking any of the remakes, but I got through the game several times. The rules weren't that deep. I didn't want to keep playing it. Whereas Alien, the rules are amazingly deep, and you don't see it everywhere. So that machine is, if it ever leaves here, it's going to my basement. So the rules are just so well done on it.
So you've said multiple times that you're not much of a businessman, but
No.
at the same point in time, how does that run into each other then? Because you're the collector who has these great diversity of games and stuff like that, but then you are also ultimately running a bit of a business. In fact, there's more than a bit of a business. I mean, this is a heck of a business that you have up here. What is the big earner up here? What is the one that everybody's going to? What's earning the money? And how does that go along with your collection, or does that fight against your collection? And how does that work out?
I think every quarter that these machines have made over the 5 years we've had games down here now has gone right back into either the machines themselves or adding a new machine to the location. I do keep track of what we make and stuff, but it has not once been profitable over the course of a year versus what we spend on putting in new machines. Top earners since we've been here, Congo and Iron Maiden have stayed the most consistent.
Okay.
The same thing, probably any location will tell you, whatever is new though does really well. So you put something in new, it does well for a certain amount of months, usually 3 to 6.
Okay.
And then regardless of code updates, because you and I might care about a code update, like I might seek out a machine because I know I got a code update. The general public doesn't care, and they're gonna be like, I played that game when it was here 3 months ago, but this game wasn't. So we brought GoldenEye in a couple months back, top earner for the month. It's a 25-plus-year-old game.
Right.
But it was new here, so people come in, they haven't played that one, they want to try it out. Weird Al, the P3 is what we've been operating for the past month. It's our newest machine here. Top earner, like typically whatever the new game is, and we do try to put in a new game every month. We have new playfields coming for the P3, so I expect whatever we put in next month in that machine will be the top earner, or we're bringing in a Data East Back to the Future for the next month, and the Stern's newest release is not very far away, so
Right.
we anticipate that might show up here as well.
So do you run any tournaments then up here?
Yeah, the big tournament that we do regularly scheduled is the fourth Sunday Four Strikes Knockout.
Okay. So take us through the transition then. How did you go from player who owned a few machines to, and I know you said that the owner here said, why don't we put one game in here? Is that what truly was it? Were they all sitting in your house and he was like going, let's just do this? Or was that a goal of yours? Or how did it become to the point where you are now the operator of Lafayette, Indiana?
Every collector of pinball machines has the same problem: space and money. The machines take up a large amount of space, and they keep getting more and more expensive. So I think at one point in my 1,000-square-foot house, I had 18 machines. I had eliminated both guest bedrooms. I had machines in my kitchen, my living room, my garage, everywhere but the bathroom and the bedroom. So you run out of space. This was actually not my first location. I've been teaching this is my 15th year teaching. A former student of mine, also in the same shopping center we're sitting in, owned a board game and card game store in this area.
Okay.
And at one point I had put 4 machines in that shop. I don't remember, maybe it lasted a year or so, and they were doing fine, but I ended up getting rid of another bedroom and brought them home at the house. So I did have a little bit of experience operating, but it came from the same need. I needed space. Same thing down here. They needed something for people to do. I needed space because I didn't always even have all the room to set up the machines I owned. So it kind of worked out well. And when we saw how well it did, it kept evolving.
I think the real secret to what we should do next is
let's play some of these.
Let's do it.
Let's get on a couple of these games. We'll pick out a couple ones that maybe people have not seen ever, or maybe they've seen it but they've never touched it. Let's give them a little bit of a showcase of what you've got here, and we'll play a little pinball and see if I can keep up with the guy who has this fantastic collection.
That sounds good to me.
All right, rock on. Please visit our sponsor, Comet Pinball. Comet Pinball has what you need to make your dim machines look better than new. They have the largest selection of bulbs from the exotic to the mundane, and even their exclusive matrix lighting system, which makes it easy to boldly add lighting where no lighting has gone before. Visit cometpinball.com. We're going to start on a P3.
Yes, we are.
I've never touched one. I have been following this company forever. It's amazing to me to see these flippers floating.
Yeah, the flippers and the slings all hover above the display that is your bottom 2/3 of the playfield, actually.
Wow.
What's really cool from an operator standpoint is I can slide that mech out and work on it to repair it. It makes it much easier than working under a playfield. It all comes out in one piece. I could also, if I so choose, buy a backup one. So if I were to have a problem, I can slide in my backup, fix my other one outside of the machine, and the game's never down. So for location and operators, it's a really good system.
Wow, and then for less expensive than definitely any sort of pro, you can now put a different drop up top, right?
Yeah, so the bottom 2/3 of the playfield is an LCD screen that has a field of optos over it to track your ball, so it can interact with items on the screen. The back third is a traditional style playfield, and it's interchangeable. It's literally got 2 clips that lock it into place and 3 connectors in the back. It can be changed out in a matter of minutes. So if we want to see that later, we can absolutely show you how that works. And we got our Weird Al. We were the first location in the country to have one in public, which is really cool to be able to say that. But we also ordered several of their other playfield designs, and those are supposed to be shipping within the next week. So come the new month, our plan is to every month switch out which game is on location. So we plan to operate Heist for the next month once it arrives.
Wow, well, let's do it. Fire her up and let's give me a quick tutorial and a lesson on. Hey, we've got to make the hamster wheel go,
hopefully
right?
Hopefully we will. It's a really tough shot.
Is it? Okay.
It is. A lot of people, again, think it's going to be like virtual pinball. It's not. You've got your traditional start button, which will get us going here. And we'll add on a second player. The big difference is you'll have multiple buttons, which has been done on pinball machines in the past.
Okay.
So your red is going to control your bottom flippers.
All right.
Right here. And now our white is your upper flippers.
Oh,
so
interesting.
we separate them, which makes it kind of nice because you're never blocking a shot in a multi-ball.
Right.
And it also, your upper flippers are able to have a little bit more power when they're on a separate button versus when they're on one button and they're firing at the exact same time.
Okay.
All right.
And so then what does our yellow button do, just so I'm not
yellow
surprised?
button is within the settings. You use it to make some adjustments, but during gameplay, we don't need to worry about it.
Don't touch it at all.
Not on this one.
All right.
Yep.
Let's do it.
All right.
So it started up there. Oh, that even popped up in the middle of the playfield. So now what do you think about the flipper field? Does it feel, in your opinion, like all your other pinball machines? Does it feel different? Or
It is different, but to me, no different than what you would feel in a difference between something like a Stern and a Jersey Jack or an American pinball. I'm gonna pick, I started a mode here and you get a choice. We're gonna pick Germs because this mode will really show off the interaction of the LCD screen.
Okay, all right.
Welcome to the fascinating world of germs.
Wow, that's
Watch out,
huge.
they'll attack your probes if you don't tame them first. Be careful, that Petri dish is fragile.
So in this mode, all your walls come up and we're actually just shooting for these red germs that are in the microscope. That's what we're looking at right now, is essentially we're in a microscope and ooh, luckily we have ball save going. And we're trying to destroy 20 of them. If we destroy 20 of them, we'll start a multi-ball.
And that's just because that was on that part of the play field, so you're aiming for that part of the wall.
The green ones don't matter. I want to hit the red ones. But as you can see, there's some cracks developing on the screen. If I shoot that area too much, that wall will actually come down and eat my ball.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So it's just a very good mode to see some of the P3 capabilities, and then you drain and it doesn't really matter. Cool, we lit our VIP.
All right, so VIP means that the center scoops pop
The
up.
center scoops come up, and now we can pick any song we want that's in the game.
Oh, all right.
So I think growing up, for me at least, the most famous Weird Al song was always Amish Paradise.
Absolutely.
And we're in Indiana, we've got Amish people, let's give it a shot.
This is the one.
So,
Oh, look at that. He's got himself an Amish pinball
and this
machine.
whole display is gonna change to look like a wooden pinball machine. It's pretty, you'll see, here you go.
Wow.
So you can see, ooh, luckily we get ball save whenever you start a mode. Within the mode, we're trying to hit the blue shots, and almost up the hamster wheel, but not quite. Still got ball save.
Yay, yay, yay.
Oof. One more shot at
I
failing.
like the timer on there.
Yeah, the timer is nice. Woo, there we go. So in this mode, we're aiming for the blue shots to do our Amish chores. And since they're Amish, they do each chore twice, because they work twice as hard as us.
Oh, that's right. But all right, no, we'll finish this on up, and then we'll jump over to see what's next.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I just got schooled in in Weird Al, although we did get a chance to look at some of the sub games. So that's pretty cool. I
Yeah.
felt a little bit more comfortable hitting barnyard animals, obviously.
Nice.
But so next is Alien. Now, how many of these are on location right now in the process of while we're filming?
Last I knew, less than 10 in the country.
Less than 10 in the country,
yeah.
one sitting right here.
One sitting right here, yep.
And that's in location. So let's go ahead. So let's talk our way through this and see where we go. So we are about to play a game of Pinball Brothers Alien.
Pinball Brothers Alien, the second version of it, and I can point out some of the differences from the original because we operated one of those as well while we're playing.
All right, let's do it.
So we got one player on, two players on, and when we start the game, you can actually choose whether you want to play Alien or Aliens.
Okay.
So whichever one you launch the ball on, you'll be in that mode or that movie until you beat all 5 modes from it.
Okay.
So they're pretty well balanced as far as scoring goes. I'll start with Alien if you want to pick Aliens, and then you can see a little bit of everything. It's a 4 flipper game, and shooting into the airlock there will start our first mode. So we're gonna do derelict ship, and the screens do a really good job of telling you what to hit. So I'll try to trap up if I get a second.
Oh, I just saw that
ball save. All right.
that the bugs or whatever alien creatures we have there actually move like we would see on the axes of hobbits or something like
The
that.
Axis
That's cool.
Hobbit, Scared Stiff, it reminds me a little bit of. So in this mood, it's telling us green to add time and value. So that's our left orbit. Blue to explore the ship. So we'll go blue. And it gives us our point value. There are 4 flippers on this game, which you don't see very often in modern pinball. And then our orbits switch. So now we're blue on the left and green on the right. We're still exploring. And this game is really fast for a wide body. So don't be surprised if you lose the ball pretty quick.
Morning, Mother.
Mother gives us our mystery award, more time in the mode, which is good because your modes go into your bonus on this game. It can really affect the scoring.
All right.
Shooting your ramps will spell drop ship, which leads to double scoring. And that upper shot is just so tough. And shooting the xenomorph in the middle is a bash toy, very much like Sparky on Metallica.
Okay.
Oh, and we're draining out the left.
Now, does anything come out of the mouth?
Yeah, if we shoot the xenomorph enough times in the middle, the magnet should grab the ball. It's about a 75% success rate.
Okay.
And then a tongue will come out of the xenomorph's mouth, grab the ball off the magnet, and swallow it to start the multi-ball. It's a pretty cool feature, but it doesn't work 100% because you're relying on a magnet, and the ball just moves so fast it doesn't always snag it.
Gotcha. All right, well, here we go. Let's see what we got.
PP-70 handgun.
You will get ball save.
Okay, good. Is there a way of saving it while it's going down that drain?
Yeah, the left side, you have 2 inserts that say revive. If it's lit and it rolls over that one, it'll save your ball. You can light them by shooting the upper ramp with the upper right flipper.
Okay.
So you can actually get them both lit at some points.
Morning, Mother.
That's a nice size LCD screen on this.
Yeah, it's actually smaller than the original Alien. That was an issue some people had with the remake. But to me, it's plenty of big.
Right.
And I like some of the actual physical changes they made to the machine. There's an extra magnet that wasn't on the original version. And there's also another entrance into a scoop that wasn't on the original version. So we'll start a mode here. Tunnel hunt. We're going to be aiming for our blue shots, 1, 2, and 3, the vents. And we also, I think, are 1 or 2 shots away from our Xenomorph multi-ball, so we might try to bring that into it as well. There we go. So we'll get to see him snag it. All right.
That's wild.
It's a really cool multi-ball start. So now we're in ambush multi-ball. We also have our mode running to shoot our vents, so we still want to hit the blue arrows as well as anything else that's lit. There should be a 3-ball multi-ball, and if we can get a mystery reward, it's almost always add a ball when you're in multi-ball.
Okay.
Which I'm guessing we'll see pop up on the screen, which extends our ball save as well.
First junction.
And that also gave us one of our vent shots, so that was a really valuable shot to hit. Whenever you see the purple flash, that's telling you we shot the Xenomorph in the middle, because I've got that wired in to flash the flashers.
Open the house to the first junction.
There we go. So we just completed that mode by hitting our vent 2 and then into the scoop, which is awesome. And we also started another multi-ball, so now we've stacked in Sentry Gun multi-ball too.
Wow.
So we have a good ball going right here.
Okay, so I've lost in 2 games. I've lost on a P3, lost on a Pinball Brothers. So we'll go old school. Maybe
Yeah.
this gives me an advantage because of the fact that I'm more old school than you.
So
I'm counting on this, but what do you know about this game?
what we have here is really unique. I looked it up earlier because I know I told you it's pretty rare. There are 9 Quicksilvers in public in the entire country. What makes ours unique is this was built by me 2 months ago.
Okay, so my advantage is gone.
Your
now.
advantage is gone. So we've technically played the 3 newest machines here. This one just happened to originally been designed in 1981.
Okay.
And I built this myself. I used a random wildfire cabinet game as a donor,
Okay.
a brand new play field from Germany, new plastics from Germany, new parts from Pinball Life and Marco, and all new wiring. So even though this game is a classic, it is actually probably the second most recent manufactured game we have, because this actually got here after Alien, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, this is very exciting to play. It's such an unusual game to be seeing in the wild, and then to know that you built it. I feel my chances are great.
They should be good. It's a brutal game anyway, so we'll see what we can get going here.
All right.
And we got 2 of us on, and we'll give it a shot.
Okay. Well, it gave you 1,000 points just for starting the game, so
Well,
that's a good start.
The classic Stern drop targets are notorious for falling very quick, which one of mine did.
Gotcha.
So,
I'm like going, okay. It's like the game goes, yes, I know this man.
yeah, he gives me the freebies. We got to use this, and we haven't had League since I brought this machine down here, and we got to use it for the first time in League the other night. And it was really cool to see multiple people playing a game that I knew I built, and there's no center post on this one, by the way.
Yes.
So that was pretty neat.
Okay, here we go. Again, I'm feeling comfortable. This is a classic. Okay, we're getting close to clearing off our targets. There's something fun about being able to play a classic, but this one is performing just, you're so used to it. Oh, either smell it like smoke and then it starts from there, or or things aren't working right, but this one is wonderfully responsive.
Yeah, it's again all new parts, and then I make some liberties when I do these scratch-built games. Like this should probably have red star post in it, but I use modern clear post because I think it allows the game to be lit better.
Right.
There's new drop targets. My spinners are originals, but I modified or put in new switches, and they're all lubed up, so they should spin really well. Things like that. And again, it's just a game you're not going to see very often. And it's got a great rule set to it. That was a nice save. I hope we got that on camera.
All right. Truly, I know I've said every time, I think this is the game I'm going to pass you by on.
You got, well, you had a chance. Had a chance.
Tommy, thank you
Absolutely.
so much. This is an amazing place. Thank you for everything you do in pinball. Thank you for your podcast that we get to hear about this place. Thank you for having such unique games. Thank you for schooling me on your unique games. And I just can't tell you, for all of us, just thank you.
Thank you guys for making the trip, and for everyone who comes out and checks out the games here, we really appreciate it, because if you guys didn't come, we never would have kept adding games. So anytime somebody's in town, they want to come play, look us up on Facebook. We're North End Pub Pinball. I manage that page as well. Shoot me a message, and then I'm happy to come meet you over here for a few games or drinks.
Good, and as long as we're doing that, so they reach you through North End Pinball.
Yeah, North End Pub Pinball. Yeah.
And then can they reach you through your podcast? Why don't we
can
plug
be
it?
reached through our podcast, thisflippinpodcast@gmail.com. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Pinside, I'm on basically any sort of pinball communication forum there is. My phone number's out there. I'm almost always buying and selling games. I'm a pretty easy guy to get a hold of, and if you are looking to come play and talk pinball, I'm always happy to come and hang out.
Rock on. Again, thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
So what did we learn today? Well, we played some phenomenal games of pinball. There's games here I've never seen before, and it's amazing when you get into a location that is ran by an enthusiast of the game. It was easy to talk to Tommy forever about pinball. We also had a chance to try some of the food here at North End. And the pizza, homemade, delicious. The bowling alley, people were having a great time. This is a great venue in Lafayette, Indiana that is not to be missed. If you're into pinball, there's games here you're not going to see anywhere else. So hopefully you'll get a chance to make the road trip. And if nothing else, thank you for joining the road trip with us. Thank you for joining us on TiltTrek. Remember to like, subscribe to our Facebook, to our YouTube channel, and we're always glad to have you with us, and we look forward to where we see you next on the very next episode of TiltTrek. Thank you very much.